Welcome back to the Reggies podcast. You're here with three blokes who could have been anything but decided to have fun instead. Hey, Merry Christmas, if it's Christmas by now. Happy holidays to everybody.
If it's New Year's.
Bit of a different setup we're doing over this Christmas New Year period. We're in today on Derby Day, actually. Recording a few special episodes for you just so we can spend some time with the families and have a bit of a break.
Behave like Reggies.
I'm sure all of you are over this Christmas New Year period as well. Real shame, actually. Got up this morning and had to say to the missus, oh, for fuck's sake, I've been called into work.
Yep.
For not even single time, no double time, not even single time pay, just doing it for fuck all.
Doing it for love.
Third time we've made that joke.
So we're in here, yeah, well, we don't know when we're going to release
All we
these
know
specials.
is that, you're going to hear it 3 times.
Yeah, you will hear it 3 times.
And you better fucking laugh.
Yeah, get it right, Indians.
Over the Chrissy New Year period. But no, we hope everyone's having a fucking ripping time, spending time with the families. Not just the kids, grandparents and all that as well. Like
Fucking oath.
your own grandparents and mothers and fathers and that.
And if it's the last one out of the 3, you're probably thinking, get me the fuck back out of this setup.
Yeah.
Like some of yous are going, ow! Like over that time, you can choose your friends, can't choose your family. I'm sure you love them all, but some might even be going, holy.
Yeah.
Let's get back to normality.
Correct.
So, look, today, this one will probably be the shortest out of the 3 specials we do.
Yep.
We've got punting to do.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not going to
like I
sugarcoat
said,
it.
It's fucking Derby Day. We got shit to do.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 a.m. We're going to talk about. We're going to go with 3 topics. We'll go with a footy style one, both codes, an Ashes cricket one, and the other biggest rivalry we have, which we're going to do today, is Australia versus India.
Yeah, which is fitting, isn't it?
It's fitting because we've got 5 tests against them this summer. Hopefully we're up fucking 2 or 3-0 by now. I honestly reckon this could age terribly. We're going to beat them 5-0. But that's just me. But yeah, we're going to go back. I'm not sure, Jace, what you've got, but I've got some early 2000s in towards the late section of the noughties.
Yeah, mine's more early 2010s.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
that'll work
Absolutely
well.
perfect. We had some of the best. I think the early 2000s, the 2 tours of India that we did, they were some of the best Test cricket you'll see, because you had Australia, who was just this absolute phenom, fucking powerhouse of cricket.
Yep.
Going to India, where it's almost it's impossible to win. The Kiwis have just done it this year. Australia's done it once in 2004. England did it in 2012. Like, it's not something that happens all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanted to go through a few series from 2001 all the way through to the 2007, 2008 series here in Australia, because those 4 series we had, 2 here, 2 there, were some of the best cricket you'll ever fucking see played. Like, it was unbelievable. And I'm sure you guys aren't as deeply entrenched in it as I am, so I'll just rattle off heaps of stuff and, chime in, and then we'll obviously go on to, I'm assuming you're going to talk about Michael Clark's 300 and fucking Steve Smith making 400s in a row.
Dodge point.
2001, boys. So we go over there. We are just dominating the world of cricket. No one can beat us. Absolutely no one can beat us. We go out in the first test match, win it well. We then go to, was it Eden Gardens? It was, I can't remember exactly where it was, but that's not the point. It was the famous follow-on test match. For those who don't know what the follow-on means, let's say your team bats first in a test match. You make 500. The team who bats second has to make 301 at least. Otherwise, you can be forced to bat again.
Yeah.
Just go
straight away,
bat again. You don't go, we bat, you bat, we bat, you bat. If you don't get within 200 runs of our first innings score, we can make you bat again.
Yep.
So we go out and make 400 odd, bowl them out. There's a chance to make them follow on. And Steve Waugh used to love enforcing the follow on. He was captain at the time. So he enforces the follow on. VVS Laxman, he usually batted 5 or 6 for India. He ends up not out at the end of the first innings, right? Not out fucking 40 or 50 or whatever he ended up.
Yep.
We've enforced the follow on. Indian skipper goes, well, I'll just keep the pads on. Keep the pads on, you can go out and open because you've got your eyes
in.
Yeah.
VVS goes out and makes 281.
Oh!
Wow.
Rahul Dravid makes 180. They make 650 or something ridiculous. Australia are in the field for 236 overs total.
Gosh.
Because we enforced the follow on. Now all of a sudden we need 360 to win. We get bowled out and lose. Like, we're 1-0 up in the series. We haven't beaten India there for a long time. We've made them follow on in the second test.
Yeah.
You're thinking this is it. We are going to win here. 281, 180, we lose. It's 1-1. We go to the third test and lose it. Like, to have the series on a fucking dime like that,
Yeah.
and to lose it would have just crushed them, eh? Like, it
Fucking
would
oath.
have absolutely
Such a small decision.
Especially, but
crushed them.
Such big
But I
repercussions.
mean, that decision could have went so well too. Like
Yeah.
if they had come out and he didn't do that, like he would have been a legend.
The thing is, they only fielded for 58 overs in the first innings.
Yeah.
Or 60 overs or something. So they weren't fucked.
Yeah.
But then they fielded for 180 overs or something.
Jesus,
175 overs.
a long time in the Indian sun.
Bowling at the same cunt too.
On a fucking road as well.
Yeah, like it was 4 for 250, I think, when Rahul Dravid come to the crease. So they still need to get in front of us. And then they put on a mammoth fucking partnership, and it was just like,
Who was bowling at him at that time?
oh,
Graves?
McGrath, Warren, Gillespie.
See, that's
fucking
even
all
fucking
these.
more impressive.
Yeah.
That they did that against our quartet.
It's a very famous test match. So we end up losing that series, and there would have been scars for sure. Like players like Gilchrist, who have, been playing Test cricket for 2 years. He made 100 in that series in the first game. He's thinking, how easy is this batting in India? And then that shit happens.
Yeah.
It just would have scarred him. And then we obviously had an Ashes series as well as 03, 04. India come to Australia, and they've still got this powerhouse team with Sachin Tendulkar, Virender Sehwag, Ganguly,
MS
Lakshman.
Dhoni.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. He was the tour after. Like that batting lineup, those four alone. Dravid, Tendulkar, Sehwag, who used to play like David Warner.
Yeah.
And then
that's right.
Laxman. Like,
Yeah.
just a great batting side. I think we drew the first test, and then the Adelaide Oval just produces. Like, this game at the Adelaide Oval, you probably, other than that amazing Adelaide test for the Ashes in 06-07, you won't see a better test played.
Yep.
Rahul Dravid made 200. Ricky Ponting made 200. Both teams scored 500 in the first innings, and in quick time too. India needed 230 odd to win the game, and then Dravid made 70 not out again and won them the game on the last day. So makes 200 in the first innings and then 70 not out in the second innings. You won't see a better fucking test match than that. We go down 1-0. Like I said, Ricky Ponting made 200 at the Adelaide Oval. MCG Boxing Day test, Ricky Ponting goes out and makes 250. Back-to-back 200s.
Wow.
They were roads. These pitches, this is when they were just producing roads.
Yeah.
You did not want to
Not
be
even trying to
did not
hide
want to
it.
be a bowler.
Yeah.
We win the Boxing Day test. It's 1-1 going to Sydney. Steve Waugh's last ever test.
Yeah,
He said
wow.
he's retiring. Last test match. They've got Sachin Tendulkar on a string. They're getting him out snicking to the keeper, to the slips, saying that we know how to get him out. One of the best players
Ever.
the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
The little master, been dominating teams for 15 years. We know how to get him out. Sachin said, I'm not going to play a cover drive. That's staple shot of any cricketer. Have to be able to play a cover drive. I'm not going to play one. So he didn't play one, and he made 241 not outs without playing a cover drive.
That is insane.
241 not out. India
because
batted,
I obviously don't remember that. Did he just leave every...
left everything out, or like did not play a cover drive.
So
Played
this was
cut,
at Sydney,
cut
right?
shots, straight
Yeah,
drives.
right.
Yeah.
So they would have had Aussies would have had 2 spinners.
I'm
Were
not
we
sure.
doing that yet?
I don't know if we played the 2 spinners, but yeah, you're right.
It's tough to not play.
India batted for 2.5 days, made 7 for 700, and automatically you go, well, we can't win. Like, we cannot win the game from there.
Yeah.
But fuck, we tried. Like, Steve Waugh got criticised, like, not heaps, but a little bit for not trying to win games, playing for draws, and, like, batting for too long so that you definitely can't lose and, and you might win.
Yep.
Whereas captains like Michael Clark of recent times, he would declare giving the batting team a slim chance that they could possibly win.
So they could really
So
go for it.
that they'd still play their shots and try and win and not just shut up shop and block.
Yeah.
Steve Waugh was the opposite.
Yeah.
He would bat so that it was impossible to lose and you might win.
And you'd have to really get some wickets.
Yeah,
to fucking
quickly.
Win. Yeah,
Really
yeah.
stonewall.
So-
yeah.
I think we made 400 and something in our first innings. Like I said, it was a fucking road.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of enforcing the follow on, India batted again, gave us 300 or maybe just over 400 to win. And fuck, did we give it a go. Like, we got within 40 runs.
Wow.
Wow.
Steve Waugh's last ever game, he's on 80. Like, at the SCG, his home ground, the crowd is going off its tits. He gets out trying to slog one for 6 because he wanted to try and win the game. And I just thought that is awesome that he tried to do
Dying
that.
on the sword.
Eventually, it got to a point where we couldn't win, so we had to shut up shop and just block them out.
Yep.
Ended up 1-1. The bat just absolutely dominated the series. Like, fuck, you would not want to be a bowler. Adelaide Oval, both teams score 500. MCG, Ponting makes 250. And then India makes 700 at the fucking SCG.
You don't see that much.
But
anymore.
it set it up for this 04 series, and this is when we went to India, and they called it the last frontier. Australia titled it the last frontier. This is the only thing that this team has to do to cement ourselves as
Have
the
completed
greatest
cricket,
ever side to play the game.
Yep.
Steve Waugh's retired. Darren Lehman was playing. This is when Darren Lehman actually gave up his spot for Michael Clark, and Michael Clark announced himself as one of the best players of spin bowling ever.
Yep.
He made 100 in both innings of his first test in India.
Wow.
Yeah, we win that. I think we drew the second test, and then we won 2 out of the first 3, 2-0 with 1 to play. Could not lose the series. Ricky Ponting fucking broke his hand in the series before. Adam Gilchrist was captain for the first 3 tests, and then Punter come back for the last one. So that's like a big responsibility for Gilly. He's got a wicket keep on those pitches that fucking turn, and he's captaining the side. And
be a premier batter as well.
that's right. I don't know how he went with the bat, but he captained like a champion. Clark and Damien Martin got player of the series. He just scored that many runs.
Yep.
Fuck, he was a good player to watch, man. If you watched Martin highlights, he looks like he is not even trying half the time. Like, just silky as when he batted.
Was he in there for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he retired at a real weird time. He retired after the second Ashes test.
Because I remember
in
his
06,
name
07.
there just being hanging around the old boy when he was watching. I remember his name being there, but I suppose he's just not one of those forefront names
No,
when you
in that
think
era
of
of
that.
Australian
you know what I
cricket,
mean?
no, yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
reason I ask. Like, how long was he cemented there for?
I'm going to set you up here.
Righto.
I'm going to set you up. Take one guess. 2004, who took the most wickets in India turning pitches 2004 in his prime?
Is it an obvious one? Is it Shane Warne's the obvious thought?
Dizzy Gillespie, boys.
Did he? What?
I told you I was going to set you up for failure there.
Yeah.
Because I thought you would say Warney. He did take wickets, Warney did, but Dizzy Gillespie took the most wickets. Mate, him and McGrath were fucking unreal.
Yeah, yeah.
In the third test, when we won the series, Gillespie took 5 for and 4 for.
Fuck me.
LBWs,
Yeah.
fucking, oh man, he was unreal. I could not express enough how good the pace bowlers were. And you would not expect that. India.
If a pace bowler can get it done in all conditions, that's when they're
Dizzy
world class.
won us that series because he took 20-something wickets in 4 tests.
You're not meant to do that as a pace bowler in India.
He was unreal. So Martin got player of the series, but Dizzy's fucking ripped off, I reckon.
Yeah.
Snubbed, for sure.
And we win 2-1 we ended up winning. So Gilly captains 3 games. Win, draw, win. Punter comes back in. And we should have won 3-0, man.
Yep.
We needed it. We had to chase 108 in the 4th innings of the 4th test, and Harbhajan come out and took 6 for a 7. Bowled us out for 90. Another one of those tests where it was such like a spectacle, bit like the follow-on one, but it didn't go our way. But who cares? We won the series.
That's right.
We cemented ourselves as the greatest side ever.
We'd been ICC champions, of ODIs, Ashes champions. That's it. Those are the 3 biggest things for Aussies: is ODI World Cup, winning in India, and winning in England. Those are the pinnacles.
And they'd won in England heaps.
Exactly.
They just couldn't get it done in India, and they got it done.
Nowadays, you can say a T20 World Cup, but back then that wasn't really that prevalent.
And then came the 07-08 series, which everyone will remember the SCG Michael Clark 3 wickets in and over to win the game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, how the fuck
Chuck
he
that
did
on,
that.
Gropes.
Yeah. Michael Clark, 3 wickets. But this test, unfortunately, isn't remembered for that. It's remembered for the controversy with Andrew Simons and Harbhajan Singh.
Yes.
But what this was Australia's 16th win in a row for the 2nd time in a few short years, and that's the record. So they did it twice, and this was the 2nd time they did it. Was this year? Here's the first one.
Bump.
So see, India have shut up shop. They can't win.
Yep.
They need 120 odd, and there's 3 overs to go.
Yeah.
The ball is turning in Sydney.
Yeah. Look at how like dark it's getting. Sunset. See you later, Harvey.
Yeah, plenty of shade.
The reason it
little
was
pup there.
yeah.
That was peak bad boy pup.
Bad boy pup when he's chewing your lounge.
He was a rat bag.
Him and Sophie Monk.
Oh man.
Oh, bang. Just start walking.
But yeah, the reason it was so controversial was because Harbhajan called Andrew Simons a monkey.
Yeah.
And there was racism involved. So what happened is there was a hearing mid-test. It was like a proper hearing, as in your front, like it's like going to court.
Judiciary
type.
Yeah.
No wicket here, I don't believe. Oh yeah, there is. He was on a Hattie. That's
Bang.
right. And that was fucking out too. They said it could have went over the top. It was hitting the stumps.
Fucking water.
Yeah, they said so. There was a hearing. Simons was in there with the Australian Cricket Board. They were called the ACB at the time, and Harbhajan was in there with the Indian Cricket Board. And what happened is Harbhajan obviously, I don't think meant it in a racist way. He just probably come off his tongue. So India's backing him, going, I wasn't trying to be racist. All Simo wanted was the Australian Cricket Board to back him. Sit in that hearing and back him and go, let's take a stand here. And what happened was India said, well, you know what? We're going to fucking go home and not play the last test, which is worth millions to Australia for viewership, ticket sales, all that.
Yep.
We're not going to play the last 2, it was, the Wacker test and then I believe Adelaide. And Australian Cricket Board went, oh, no. That's all right. We won't try and go for a suspension. You just have to pay a fine, because they wanted to suspend him for the last 2 tests.
Yeah.
And it pretty well derailed Simo's career, because he then knew, hey, this fucking cricket board that I play for, and I've got the badge on me heart, they won't back me.
Money and viewership is more important.
Money
to them
was more important
than a bloke who would die for the baggy
than
green.
taking a stance against,
Getting called that shit.
Getting called that. So. Yeah, he ended up playing, obviously, for longer, but...
It just would have fucking stung him inside, though. You don't have that drive for your nation if they're not going to back you like that.
Exactly.
He had Langer and Haydos and that. They were in the hearing as witnesses, and they backed him, but it was the board that didn't back him. And, yeah, he wasn't real happy about it. But one of the great finishes to a game.
Yeah,
you know,
he actually speaks about it very well in the Howie.
In his podcast.
Yeah, in his podcast he did with Howie. That's a good listen, actually. I think we've said it before. It's cool to hear him talk.
I like the story that he tells of him and Haydos trying to make it out of Stradbroke.
Yeah.
When they fucking capsized the boat. He sees Haydos, the boat's gone under, and he sees Haydos fucking go back in the boat and grab something, and he thought, it'd be keys or fucking something. And anyway, they swim to shore with their mate that's panicking, and they get out of the water on the beach, and Haydos just pulls the fucking sunnies out of his boardies and shakes them off and puts them on. And that's what he dove back in to get.
I thought you were going to say a tin.
Nah. So here it comes. Pup about to roll in for the third one in 3 balls. Or is it 5? Is there a dot ball here as well?
I think there was. That was one.
Yeah, dot ball here.
I think there was 2 dot balls.
Anil Kumble's at the other end going, just block this one out.
This is the young Ishant Sharma.
And then I've got the strike.
Yeah.
He just needs one more ball and he's got the strike. But yeah, it doesn't happen that way. Anal, unfortunately. Anal Cumble.
Very unfortunate name in Australia.
Yeah. And here it is.
Bang! Fucking gone. How good is that
on
shit?
your bike, Ishant.
Look at him go.
What are you doing, mate?
Freaking out.
Yeah, mate, you're out.
You go on.
Yeah,
The best part about that is next test at the Wacker, Ishant Sharma, that's when he made a name for himself because he absolutely gave it to Ricky Ponting.
Didn't he?
Who at the time was the best batsman in the world.
Mate, he troubled him massively, didn't he?
Fucking oath. Great viewing, that.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But yeah, those 4 series there, for me, were just unreal. Like, obviously don't really remember too much of the 01 or the 04 India over there. Just because you couldn't watch it like you can now.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've watched the highlights of that 02, 03, Ricky Ponting, back-to-back double hundreds.
As you're falling asleep.
Nah, because they didn't have DVD, the cunts. And then the 07, 08, I just fucking get off on that shit. So,
That's really nice.
Yeah, we ended up giving it to them over here for the next few years.
We did,
I'm sure.
yeah.
The next series was the 11-12
Yep.
series.
And the favourite memory from that, it's literally right up in there with Clarkey and a few great
chuck it on,
SCG memories. 2012 New Year's, the Pink Test, Jane McGrath Foundation, and Clarkey comes out and gets 329 not out with the sponsorless piece of Willow, had the pink grip on it. It was
fucking bat sponsor.
He used the same bat for the whole time he was
They would
there.
have been spewing.
Or Sparta or Slazenger, whoever he was with. But 11 hours at the crease. He had punter, 134 with him, and then Mr. Cricket, Hussey came on, got 150 not out too. And it's just one of those
Look
things.
at the score.
You just
3
remember
for 30. We were.
Where you were and what was, because Ed Cowan was fucking atrocious.
3 for 30, and this is like, obviously Pup was just some of that shot right there, the flicks off the pad, the way he was seeing the ball. He hits him off middle stump.
Yeah.
Like,
there was literally
Just the
nothing they
confidence,
could
eh?
he
do.
middles them every time, but he's hitting them off middle stump.
Yeah.
It is one of the, I would say, the best batting performances in Australian history.
But I am very
textbook.
biased because at the end of Punter's career, this was right at the end.
This was his last series.
And he played South Africa as well.
last series at home though.
No, he retired here, but his
12,
last
13.
series was against South Africa.
Okay.
But he was under the pump here, man.
Yeah,
Punter
big
was
time.
like, they're going to fucking... He's Australian captain.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh,
Please.
no, Clarkey was captain by then. But they were like, hey, you need to make runs or...
We want you to have your farewell.
You don't want to have to tell a bloke like Punter.
Yeah,
No.
And I was the biggest advocate. I loved Punter. And I
Everyone
Who didn't,
fucking
man?
backed him to the hills, and everyone who didn't quite love cricket as much as me are going, you got to fucking get rid of him and all this, and I'm going, nah.
Fuck off.
When he made 100 here, I was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
You won't see it because it's just Clark's
Yeah,
highlights,
yeah,
but he's
yeah.
on 99, nearly runs himself out. He
Yeah, that's
fucking
right.
flicks it to mid-wicket and then has to full-on stretch dive. If it hit the stumps, he was gone. And he gets up filthy and just looks at the dressing sheds and just puts the bat up, and I'm just like, fucking oath, punter.
It was great.
You've done it. Very next
done
test, he goes out and makes 200. Both of them did, Clarkey and him.
That's right. That was a dominant series, this was.
Yeah, we absolutely punished them because they had nothing in the bowling ranks.
Not at all.
They had the batsmen who didn't perform.
Yeah, right.
Who was there? They had Shan Sharma, Mohammed Shami.
Nah, there would no Shami.
Yeah,
it's way too young.
I thought I just saw him drop a seed then.
Nah,
no, that's not him.
I don't know who this lefty is, but he got carted.
But
there's Pup bringing up the 200
series.
here.
Yep. With no, honestly, whoever didn't get that deal done for the bat sponsor surely got sacked.
I thought he did it on purpose himself. He just wanted a blank bat with the pink grip.
Yeah, but that's because the sponsor, they wouldn't have got a deal done, man. So he would have been going.
Look at it, sailing in the air 3 times in the one innings, and they're going, good work, Steve, you fuckwit.
You fucking idiot. Why didn't you pay the cunt?
That's right. I can imagine the next one, though, would have been worth a fair bit.
Spartan, I think, took over.
They did, yes.
Well, he might have been with Spartan, and there was obviously...
I thought it was Slazenger, maybe.
Random
he
one,
was at the start.
Random one now. What's the biggest brand bat right now?
That's fucking hard, eh?
New Balance is coming up.
They are, but all
well.
the Indians have always used a different brand to every other nation. Like even 25 years ago.
MRF.
Because growing up,
That's
it was
right.
like Kookaburra, Grey Nichols.
That's here in England and that.
Yeah,
I agree, but somehow India always had the different brands like MRF and SS and all these weirder ones.
Yeah.
Well, not weird, but just like
We
different.
don't have them over here.
So I reckon they probably would have been the biggest just because of how many people live in India.
True.
Like, look at
Probably
that.
you'd say
bang,
MRF
just whipped.
because
Look at
Sachin
where he
used an
hits this.
MRF, and that would have been everyone watching Sachin use an MRF. Everyone wanted
Steve
an MRF.
Waugh used one as well.
Yeah.
Look where he hits this off. It's like off stump.
Swinging
And
in.
just
Flicks it
fucking
off his pad.
Swinging in the middle.
could not hit that any better.
He
eh?
couldn't play a bad shot this whole innings.
Nah.
Like you've seen other players that have gotten over the 300, like Tubby Taylor, Warner against Pakistan, but I don't know. This innings for me is one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah. And like
Goes
we
over
said,
300.
the bowlers were not great.
They're still against fucking India.
Yeah. This was the weakest attack they ever bought over.
Yep.
And but Pup did not look like getting out. He did not look like
He didn't
getting
get out. He got
No.
not out. 321.
And there's
not out.
one of his ex-wives.
And he probably put a pup in her.
Just one of them.
Oi, if you don't already, jump on, after you listen to us, jump on Big Sports Breakfast, it's called. It's Laurie Daly, Michael Clark,
$2.99.
and Ben Way
Yep.
every morning on Sky Sports Radio. Look at that.
Bang.
That is off middle.
To finish it, to seal 300.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So, Michael Clark, Laurie Daly, Ben Way, and sometimes Middleton.
yeah.
And they always fucking rip into Clarkey about how many women he's had.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oi,
fuck, it's
in the
gold.
history of like top level cricket against the top teams, how many 300s would there have been really?
There's been quite a few.
Quite
Yeah.
a few.
The notable ones for Aussies is Mark Taylor, Warner a couple of years ago.
Haydos.
Haydos.
Haydos broke Brian Lara's record. So Brian Lara made 375. That was the highest test score ever. And then Haydos got 380 against Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And then fucking Lara went and got 400
Yes.
about a year later.
That's right. Yeah. Everyone knows about Lara's 400.
But you know what the best part about that is that Lara was captain. He made 400 and they drew the game because he kept batting.
Yes.
We won the game when Haydos made 380.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because Lara should have declared,
Yeah.
but he wanted the fucking 400.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you know,
You
well
understand,
done.
yeah.
But come on, mate. Like, fucking hell. You
it's
want
not for a
to.
beer.
It's still about winning games of cricket, is it not?
Yeah.
So,
Not just personal
Yeah,
achievements.
so it doesn't count.
Warner made 300. Yeah, fucking. Clark made 300.
Mark Taylor.
Yeah,
It's always
Taylor
that
was-
special thing, though, isn't
Don
it? Like,
Bradman did it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loved a draw back then.
Yeah. And there was I don't know.
No, I
If they
mean,
won
it
or-
used to happen a lot more back then, though,
Yeah.
didn't it? Back in those days, the old drawn test matches.
Yeah. Who's another notable Aussie? Like, there's some well before our time.
Smudge
Yeah.
never got 300.
No, neither did Punter or any
No.
of them. But trying to think of other notable ones from Aussies. That might be it, eh? Mark Taylor.
Those are the names that you hear every time. that I know I hear whenever there's
Bradman.
close to a conversation.
There's definitely some older ones that
Yep.
people like won't remember unless they're
Someone's going to say,
fanatics.
you forgot about fucking
then
Jimmy McRobinson from 1842 convict days in Port Arthur. Sorry, mate.
Get that into your Luke Smith.
Yeah, I'm not
Go
gonna say
fucking
it was,
spend
but-
Spend some time
fucking
drinking
Christmas,
piss, would you,
Smithy.
cunt?
Oh,
the couch.
fuck. Yeah, but the recent ones, obviously, yeah, Mark Taylor, Matty Hayden, Warner, Michael Clark. And yeah, who knows when you see the next one, eh?
Fucking oath.
But yeah,
Hopefully this summer.
That's
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
That'd be awesome. That
Smithy.
11-12
this summer.
series, we absolutely humped them.
And it wasn't even close.
Was not even close. And then off the back of that, not the making of, but Steve Smith took over the captaincy this series after Michael Clark done his hamstring
the
for
14-15 series.
for the 18th time.
Yeah.
This was when Phil Hughes passed away too. So
Wasn't
It
that
meant
a-
a lot.
Hughes
wasn't
gets
the
hit in the
Aussies?
head
Oh, bro.
in a Sheffield Shield game. The first test of the summer against India gets moved because it was so close to when
Yeah.
that happened. Instead of it being at the Gabba test got moved, and the first test was Adelaide Oval.
Yep, that's right.
Virat Kohli had the game of his life, scored 200s in both, 100 in both innings. Steve Smith scored 100, and Michael Clark scored 100, which was just
It was
awesome.
Smudge and Kohli, that whole series.
Yep.
This was when Smudge really stamped his place as one of the best in the world, and Kohli already was. So those two, I think Smith got 769 runs and Kohli got 692.
Scored 100 in every game, Steve Smith.
That is fucking
First
crazy,
innings of
mate.
every test, he scored 100, and Kohli scored 400s, I'm pretty sure, as well. Kohli, fucking dead set. If we did not get him out in the fourth innings, like, we're gone.
Yeah.
But
He was a danger.
so much
every
credit
time.
to him because he tried to win the game. They weren't supposed to be able to win, and he went out and played his shots, and he got out playing it, like held out in the deep, like
Yeah.
playing his shots, trying to win the game for India, and eventually, finally, when we got the breakthrough, they were fucking two for fucking heaps.
Yep.
And then we finally got the breakthrough, and then Gaz took 7 for,
Oh.
and we won the game. First game after Phil Hughes had passed away, and they all just somehow ended up, like Gaz took the last wicket, stumped, and they all ran, and they all ended up at the 408 sign.
Yeah, where they
on
had painted on the field.
because that was Hughes'
Yeah,
number.
wow.
Yep.
And they all just ended up in the huddle around the 408 sign.
We
and it
saw
was just-
when Smudge and Pup got their centuries, they ran over and they
Same
kissed
as
the
Warner
ground,
as
Warner
well.
as well. And yeah, that was it. That series meant fucking a lot for a lot of those boys because
Yeah.
they were not only teammates of Hughesy, but
They were good
Clarkey
mates
was
with
a
him.
real good mate with him.
And Warner, yeah.
Warner as well. A lot of those New South Wales boys. But yeah, that series I remember so fucking vividly. And how's this for like just summertime as a young, like, I think I would have been 10 or 11 by this point, but your school holidays, you're parking up. I used to park up at my grandmother's place called Marga, and she just absolutely loved the cricket. Like, there wasn't a moment, whether it was Big Bash, Test cricket, ODI, in probably her whole life that she didn't have the radio on or the TV on.
Yeah, it's
So-
like my grandma.
yeah,
Same.
exactly. So anytime we'd go, she lived on the property with us, and she had her little house just like 50 metres up the road. So I'd be like, right, we'll go up there, watch cricket. You're parking up, you had Zupa Dupas, frozen pies,
Yeah.
some cordial, mate, and you could just sit there for fucking 8 or 9 hours the whole day and just watch it. And this series, like, I specifically remember, and Smudge getting that 100 at the Gabba, and that's when we all just went, this kind of is going to be a superstar for this fucking nation.
Yeah. Are you the same? Like, I'd obviously rather sit there and watch it and stuff, but there's something about that crackle of the ABC, like, radio.
ABC grandstand.
Like, I remember a lot of test matches, even at work, like in the dozes and shit, and you know
Yeah.
the test was on, and I was just happy all day. Like, you hear, and just some of the chats between them, like fucking talking and
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
just,
yeah.
it was really good, eh?
That's why I like listening to it on, like, when we record on a Thursday night and there's Thursday night footy.
Yeah.
And I put ABC Grandstand on and fucking listen to the footy on the way home.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
prime. They
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, it's chopped
We've
on,
just
man.
put the day 5 highlights of that Adelaide test in 2014. So India needed 360 to win, and they started at none for none, first ball of the day. Australia's got 90 overs to get 10 wickets, and they got 90 overs to get 360.
That's very evenly matched.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Great declaration by Michael Clarke.
Absolutely.
But this was, so Clarkey actually might not be on the field because he's done his string, and this is when Smith took over the captaincy.
Yeah, right.
And it got to I think there was a point there where Smith had captained 3 games of cricket and made 100 in every game that he'd captained.
When he was still a leg spinner. Before he came in as a batsman, yeah.
But yeah, this VJ and the Pujara
Cheteshwar
and Kohli nearly fucking take it away from us because poor old Gaz, you'll see here in a minute on the highlights, Gaz nearly fucking lost his voice from appealing, I reckon.
Yeah.
There was that many LBWs that were 50-50, and I can't remember if this series, I'm pretty sure DRS was in.
Yeah.
But
India didn't want to use it,
that's
did they?
right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of time. There was a fair few years there where India said, "Nah, we don't want the DRS. We want the umpires."
Yep.
And then that's out. But
fuck off!
I'm pretty
you
sure.
toad.
I'm pretty
That is
sure.
out. Oh, that is grubbing.
Yeah. See, there is there.
That's
see, that is
fucking.
out.
I thought
plum.
that any time we played,
That is plum,
anytime we played India, we couldn't use DRS.
and that's out. And we couldn't. Nah. See, DRS is not in.
You
Yeah.
fuck.
So when England and everyone else came, we could, but India, we weren't allowed to.
Yeah. Until they got a few rough ones against them.
And they went, oh, now we want to.
Yeah.
That
Man,
is rough
Pujara,
going, that
isn't
other
he?
one.
Yeah,
That
oh,
was
yeah.
absolutely plum.
He left it. Look at Kohli here. Look at that shot.
Oh.
That is fucked up.
In the
good.
world of modern Test cricket now,
Get that in
it's,
you.
See that?
it's not as much slowing down run rate
That
and
was
shit.
where it was strange because Jono's just smacked him in the head. And this is the first test since Hughes died.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so everyone was real timid to be like, are you right? Are you right? Are you right? Every time someone got hit in the helmet,
Yeah.
they'd all crowd around and go, are you right? Are
It was
you
a
right?"
very scary time, I guess. Everyone was on edge
Yeah.
a fair bit because how many times have you, seen someone get hit in the head with a cricket ball and you just don't even think.
Did helmets change at all after that?
They did.
Yeah,
they had the little.
They put the things
they're
at the back.
comb-looking padding at the back there, but that can only do so fucking much.
See?
No, yeah.
There's Clarkey, I think, just doing the string.
Do you remember Phil Hughes' passing was definitely one of the where were you moments?
That's it.
And
Yeah.
do you remember where you were
That
when you
fuck.
found
Yeah.
out?
He's the same one too. that
I
corrupt.
remember being at work. Oh, it's not out, actually.
Yeah, he should have given it that.
I was at work and I was arguing with I was an apprentice, and I was arguing with a tradesman because he had no interest in cricket. He was a gamer. And I was that upset about it and put me bat outside and everything. It was like, put your bat out.
Yeah, I
for
remember
Phil
that.
Hughes. And instead of just saying fuck all, this cunt was like, fucking, this bat's out for Hughes. He fucking, who cares? People die every day and all this. And I was
my
that
God.
off. I had a full-on
I can imagine.
fucking argument with
Yeah.
this guy.
I can imagine. You would have been
It
a
was
fucking
almost
second
like-
year by this point too.
Yeah, first or second. Third maybe. So I was finding my feet.
Yep.
And I was like, he may as well have done it to wind me up.
Yeah.
Because he fucking wound me.
I think he probably would have, yeah. But yeah, I remember leaving. I was probably grade 4 or 5 when it happened. That's
Yeah.
to put into contrast the age gap between us.
Yeah.
But I remember getting in the car.
That's it.
And I had Mum, Jade, my older brother, and Marga, and everyone was just dead quiet. And I've just gone, what? And I was just like, so Phil Hughes is in hospital. He's been hit by a ball. He's probably not going to make it. And I just went, what the fuck?
Pretty wild
It's
looking at
from
the
a-
footage.
It's because it's from a game.
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
that's
playing.
right.
If
yeah,
a cricketer
yeah.
died in a car crash, you'd be like, oh, well, whatever happened. Worst case, that's when it's horrible and, you're mourning, but you don't see someone die while they're playing their sport.
Well, and that's why
Any
the
sport.
bouncer stuff, like you said, Groper, the bouncer is a fucking tool that bowlers use for good reason.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's like, well, do you know who I feel sorry for too is Abbott.
Mate.
Like the
Sean
bloke who
Abbott
bowled
is-
the ball.
Bro,
like, as in
credit to him.
Yeah, exactly. to
Because he is still playing.
Yeah, 100%.
Credit to him,
I'm
man.
glad he is, because fuck me, imagine that poor bastard. He's just bowling a
Living
ball
with
that
that
every
every
other
day.
pace bowler bowls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking J-Mac won the first at Flemington too. Did he? Knocked off the fucking $2 pop.
Oh, I'm on him a bit later,
There
so
goes fucking heaps of me multis. Feroce was just meant to piss up. Yeah, credit to Sean Abbott, man, because he could have easily. It's not his fault. It was just a freak accident.
It is just one of those fucking.
So Coley
chances.
gets his 100 here. Finally, this cunt gives one.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll have to go back.
He's a South African fella, isn't he? That
Yeah, who
pretty
was
sure.
it? It was yeah.
yeah.
It's not Australian.
Resembles a toad.
Yeah. They were 2 for 240, chasing 360.
Oh,
That was what the score was.
they
when-
would have been They would have been favourites for sure in the
100%,
betting at that
man.
stage.
Live betting.
Gaz-
That was a thing back then.
Gaz dead set had that many appeals.
And ripped off at least 2 of them.
Yeah. So there it is. 2 for 237.
Yep.
What is 2 for 242? Needing 360.
Oh, gets him on 99.
Yeah. Finally
Get
gets
that
him.
dead set India.
And that was plum. And now we get
Again.
on a fucking roll here, and it is
Horse.
just on.
Bomb.
Look at the boys getting up and
Rahane.
about.
Look at young Gary.
Yeah.
Bit of hair left. Bro hit. Oh, cop that
nearly pops
straight
up
in
Like a
the
knee cork at
thigh.
school.
Wasn't
that
a
George
cunt of a
Bailey?
time?
Was that George Bailey back pad?
That was.
What a shit
Get
idea.
blokes coming in like Brett Lee to knee cork you. And then laugh while you're just in agonising pain.
They're still in a good spot here,
Mm-hmm.
the Indians.
4 for 260.
Coley just
We've had some
schooling us.
We've had some great memories against the Indians at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, mate.
In more
Well, here we
recent
go.
times.
There you go.
Bomb.
Great catch. 5 for. Got Rohit out.
Boom. Off the glove.
Biggest edge you'll ever see. And then the biggest one, Mitch Marsh is fielding. I don't know if he's playing or if he's substitute fielding,
No, I think he did play this series.
but he fucking, when he catches Coley, he does not look like he's ever going to catch it until it goes in his hands.
Yeah, yeah.
He's there, big bison.
Imagine the pressure on him there, though, eh?
Stupid shot, dickhead.
Dumb.
Like Coley, too,
Look
up
how he
in
just
the
lifts
air.
his head.
Yeah.
here. Just, oh, wow.
Fuck, man. Virat, what a player.
This was peak Virat. This
Definitely.
was like,
Here it is.
Here it is.
He does not look like he's a fucking chance, the old boss, and he knows it too.
yeah.
Look at him. He's like,
Sun is in his eyes.
Oh, should have me fingers down, but I'll go up.
Yeah, he is always bad for that. He'll get the catch. But
Oi,
he's
do
always
you,
doing
when
this.
you're fielding in the slips or whatever, like I'm not the gun cricketer or whatever, but it always felt foreign to me having my fingers up.
I'm fingers up all
Are
the
ya?
way.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I used to just like...
Backyard cricket, I'd be having him down.
Yeah, I'd always have them down.
I haven't
It
played
felt
actual
foreign.
cricket
You
since I was
do not
quite
get
young.
more plum than that.
Oh, yeah,
Back
give that
pad
not
as
out,
well.
you dog rooter.
Gone.
There it
Oh,
is.
God!
There it is.
Adzi.
And then they all end up right on the 408 sign.
Oh, how good is that, man? You couldn't script that, eh?
Nah.
It's amazing.
2 for fucking 2, whatever it was, 240, chasing 360.
An absolute
and they
fall for the Indians.
end up winning. Great
Great
series.
stuff.
And then obviously you get to the more recent ones where we have definitely not been very successful.
Oh, that was
No,
painful.
not at all.
The more
Obviously for good reason.
most
man.
painful one was when we didn't have Warner and Smith.
Straight
because-
after Sandpaper Gate.
Straight
yeah.
after the Sandy.
We still had our quartet, so he made it like a bit of a competition.
Yeah.
But Pujara and Kohli
Just battered us out of it.
Fucking battered us out.
There was an Boxing Day test there where they batted all day and they were 2 for 200.
Yeah, that was one of the most boring boxing
And it was
days of my
like, you
life.
know what? We're actually still in this. But then they end up making shitloads.
Yep. Same with what do you call it? Was it 21 in 20 when we lost at the Gabba because of Rishabh Pant?
Oh, yeah.
That Adelaide Oval test is when we got him out for 38.
Yeah.
Going into the night because it was day and
36 or
night,
something.
and then 36, 38. Yeah, got him out just before. And then Paddy Cummins, Starkey, everyone just ripped through him. 36
Yeah,
to
that was
one of the
awesome. We're
all-time
thinking
collapses.
we're on air.
Yeah.
And then we lose the series. That one hurt more because we had...
Back-to-back series loss, and we
Everyone.
had everyone back, and we're like, righto, we're a different team now. The
Yeah.
culture's changed. We got Langer as coach, but nah, that one hurts. That's
on
why
that
we're going to
note,
be so desperate
I
to
reckon
win.
that's why I reckon we're going to hump them.
Fucking oath.
this time because we are pissed off.
I don't care what
We'll
anyone
hump.
says. There is not a better cricketing nation in the last few years than us. We've won
No
everything. We understand the spectacle of shit.
Overall,
we can travel.
The Poms made the game, so they're obviously fanatical.
Mm-hmm.
India have triple, like whatever
1.4 billion
whatever
or
the
some
amount
shit.
of people it is compared to everyone else combined. They've got more.
I honestly think it's because they're not naturally gifted enough to be good at many other sports.
Yeah, you've said that.
Well, fuck, look at it.
Athletic ability. When you compare someone, an African American with an Indian, like obviously the African.
So they've honed in on this and they're fucking good at it.
Yeah,
Hockey
and
and
they're
cricket,
fanatical
they're good
about
at.
it because of how many people, and it's
Yeah.
their only thing.
Fucking oath. Hockey, I think, is their other
Yeah,
thing.
field hockey.
We are the most successful nation of all time. I don't care what
Fucking oath.
anyone says.
And we have the
are-
smallest population
out of all of them.
all of the big dogs.
Yeah.
We just fucking get
So
cricket,
get
man.
that right, India.
India. Hopefully it's 3-0 by now. I reckon we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
What do we got?
We got
About
putting.
45 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, looking
that's
forward, though. It'll be a fucking great series.
I
It's
can't wait
always-
to be at Boxing Day test.
whenever
Your
we're
first
playing-
one, pop
How
the
good.
There
cherry.
you go.
How
Bucket list
good.
shit, man. I'm that fucking
Whenever we're
keen.
playing a big series against either India or the Poms,
Yeah.
you're up and about.
Yeah. And hopefully South Africa get back to that
Yeah.
one of the pinnacle sides of Test cricket because I love playing them too.
Yes, especially them.
In that mid 2000s
Jacques
against South
Callis,
Africa.
Stain.
Oh mate,
Fucking, is
They
it
were.
Morkel?
Mornay,
Was
Morkel,
Mornay
yeah.
Stain, Morkel, Philander, fucking Rabada of recent years.
That's
like
right.
you want them to be good
Fucking oath
because you
do.
want to beat the best. So
Yep.
yeah,
Who was that big cunt with my Nokia?
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah,
was fucking
Nokia.
could bowl some
he could bowl some
absolute
heat.
siege,
Stain
bro.
was the scariest man alive. when
Yeah,
he
easily. Him and Jono were two of the scariest fast
when he got a
bowlers
wicket and he just would stand on the pitch and just scream.
ever. Proper.
Him and
Yeah.
Lee. Hey,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
two were
Big
fucking like the express pace fucking Senate India.
Stain was way more consistent though.
Yeah, yeah.
For a
Like-
longer time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you's are having a fucking good holiday period and hope you's enjoyed the little trip down memory lane anyway on
Fucking oath.
Definitely was.
Aussies v the Indians.
We're about to rip into some putting, and my first one's just been scratched, so
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that at all.
No,
no.
neither am I. I've only actually done one multi there on that first.
Well, that's good because I
which
want to
is-
get on the rest of them.
hang on. I might have done more. No. Feroce was just meant to absolutely piss up in the first at Flemington. Hopefully that doesn't set the tone for the rest of the
No, it
day.
hasn't. It hasn't at all.
Because
It won't.
I'm on today.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
on.
We all are. We've
we're on.
figured out
Anyway, it's
punting.
Derby Day. It's not Derby Day when you're listening, though. It's probably Christmas, New Year's, whatever. Hope you've had a good listen, and we will be back on January 8th. Will be our first episode back doing the weekly sports and punt show. So, yeah, we'll see you then, and hopefully you have enjoyed these little specials.
Have a ripper.
All right.